What is up YouTube, Joe here from Zephyrwargames, and I'm bringing to you guys a spicy Gallantmon deck profile post AD01. This is a list that myself and my friend Reese have cooked up. We both were thinking, looking at the ways that you can utilize the new Gallantmon from AD01 as well as the bio-merge mechanic, and figuring out how we can essentially get as much damage as we possibly can in a very nice quick swing at your opponent without them expecting. We were looking through lists online. I've also taken some text from online as well, from things like Twitter, which you'll see as well at the end. And I've cooked this up for all of you guys to see. Obviously, this is probably not the most basic way, the most common way that you'd be building Gallantmon post AD01, but I just thought it was a very unique way of playing it with a nice unique combo that you guys might enjoy. So before I get into it, if you enjoy this, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because if you enjoy personal content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on their content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All the support has been greatly appreciated, and we thank you guys all so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into Gallantmon. For starters, the egg can be essentially anything. The only thing that you're going to be struggling to play around with is essentially the purple one. For Digimon, because we don't have a lot of very strong, good level 3s that can branch from the purple side of the deck again, since we lost the Rush Gallantmon. But so I've gone for the draw one Digimon from AD02, from not AD02, from EX2. Got AD on the brain still. But yes, just a nice little consistency egg there. For Gallantmons, we're playing 4 copies of the BT21 Gallantmon and 4 copies of the Gallantmon X. These are also very important because not only are they consistency and memory, but they are also the purple color, which we'll get to one of our tech cards at the end. The BT21 Gallantmon is also important as it is a hero trait, which means that your Gallantmon from AD01 can warp on that for free memory. If you had the cards to do so, if you're like trying out other things in the deck, it does meet that hero trait. We're playing, to run up the rookies, 3 copies of the EX2 Gallantmon for the additional search. We are playing Takatos in this deck, so getting that double hit of the Gallantmon is also very strong. For champions, we're playing 3 copies of the BT19 Gallantmon. This is a rangeable effect. If you have 1 or fewer tamers, you may play a Takato from your hand without paying cost. And alternatively, if you have 0 or less memory, you can add 2000 to this Digimon's DP maximum deletion effects. We are playing 2 copies of the Gallantmon from BT21 on Evo, and on play delete an opponent's Digimon 4000 or less if you didn't trash 2 cards from your deck, and then on delete gain a memory. Very, very strong. And we're playing 4 copies of the card that hasn't got hit, and that is Gallantmon X. Until this card gets hit, we are going to be maximizing this in our Gallantmon strategies. Very, very strong effect, but that ability to play a Gallantmon back is very important as it can come up in some of your combos. We are playing 2 copies of War Gallantmon X. I've dropped this guy down a little bit just because it is a War Gallantmon X antibody, not War Gallantmon. So it doesn't necessarily fulfill the parts and components for your bio-merge plays as you need War Gallantmon specifically. But it's still an important card in the deck, as in some matches, in some games, you haven't got, you had to change the strategy around. So obviously your combo isn't exactly up to point. And sometimes the additional sec +1 in those instances can come in handy. We are playing 2 copies of the BT12 War Gallantmon still, as it has that end of attack, gain 2 memory if you have a Digimon. If you are the Gallantmon family, and if your opponent has no more Digimon. But our main War Gallantmon here is 3 copies of the BT21 War Gallantmon. This is to go in combination with the BT21 Megidramon that we are playing, as this is part of our combo to just go promote. Swing with the War Gallantmon, go into Megi, do 2 checks, delete yourself, and you'll see at the end of the combo there, we can then set up our bio-merge play, which is very, very strong for a second end of a turn attack. The on delete as well from War Gallantmon to gain additional memory. To remove the security on delete also comes into handy for that additional security checks. And then the Megidramon here just naturally has Sec +1, just nukes bodies. It's just very, very strong card. For the start of the deck, though, we are playing 3 copies of AD01 Gallantmon here. Really love that I got an artwork, alternate artwork here. This guy can evolve in a War Groundmon name or a hero trait for 3 memory. It has Rush, Raid, and Piercing. And when Digivolving effect, to delete a 10k total worth for your opponent's Digimon, then this Digimon may attack on Evo, and when attacking once per turn, delete one of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon, and your turn if your opponent's effects do not affect this Digimon that has Staccato in its evolution source, and this guy gets an additional 5,000 DP. Absolutely crazy numbers there in terms of DP buff. But that end of turn, that on Evo attack is very, very strong, will come in handy there at the end. We are playing one more Rush Gallantmon, which is going to be the promo here. You could, if you had it and you wanted to and you enjoy it, play just essentially 4 copies of AD01. But I wanted to spice it up a little bit and just play an additional Gallantmon that I can just like hard drop in worst case scenario. And I picked the promo here because you don't need to not have anything on your board, which is very, very handy. You're going to have lots of big numbers in your Digimon anyway. We are playing 3 copies of Gallantmon X still. Again, there'll be moments where you're just climbing up your stack traditionally as a normal Gallantmon player going into Gallant. And then you can just start doing your Gallantmon X's and that kind of thing. We are playing for Tamers, 3 copies of the BT17 Staccato. This has the end of turn to Biomerge for free. If you guys don't know what I mean by Biomerge, is that it means that you can take the Tamer of Staccato, put it underneath one of your Guilmons along with a Groundmon and War Groundmon, and you warp into Gallantmon for the cost that the Tamer says so. In this case, it is for nothing, but it is an end of turn to do so. And also as start menu, if you have a Guilmon family in play, you gain additional memory. It's very, very nice. And we're playing 2 copies of the BT19 Staccato. I thought since we are already on Staccato, might as well go all out with a mem setter. This guy also just gives you raid as well, which is very, very strong. And end of a turn, you get to attack. And then we're going to play 2 copies of Red Scramble here. You know, just for cheap evolution and getting back a rookie. We're playing 2 copies of Red Memory Boost here, just additional searching and additional free memory. And we're playing 1 copy of the brand new Spirit Dash Training. This is from the newest LM set. What I'm doing is that our friend Shane pointed out, and it's probably obvious to some of you players out there, is that you can just play the first one. If you're playing any deck that can utilize these current colors that these new trainings have, just put 1 in your deck. Because the first one you play is essentially just meets no other color requirements. So it's just a nice form of additional consistency that you can have in your deck. That essentially is for just for free, for just 2 memory. In this case, it can on play main reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, add a red or green Digimon to card to your hand, then put it into battle area. And just like the normal trains, you can delay this Digimon, may Digivolve into a green or red Digimon card in their hand for the cost reduction by 2. What makes these better than the additional the current trainings that we had already? Essentially, if you're already playing 4 red trainings, swap one of those out for this. So it actually can utilize this main effect as a security effect, whereas the current trainings just put themselves into battle area, which is very, very strong. So I'm taking it as a nice one-off there, just an additional form of consistency. And the last form of consistency that I took from someone's post on Twitter is I'm playing 3 copies of Insane Synthetic Monster. This card is really, really cool, and it's a nice combo here with the Groundmon X, which we'll see at the end. We essentially get one of the cheapest ways to get into a Gallantmon that you can possibly can. So it's just main draw 2, trash 2, then put into battle area, and then delay. By deleting one of your 7 or lower play cost Digimon, you may play a Digimon card with Chimera or Melemon in its name from the trash with a cost reduction by 3. Security is just draw 2, trash 2, and then put in the battle area. And you'll see later on why this card is really good in terms of getting into a Gallantmon for cheap. That is essentially its deck profile. I'm going to scoop it all up and show you guys the combos that you're going to be utilizing in this deck and why this deck is built the way that it is and why we're playing certain techs and tools in this deck. So we'll catch you Tamers in a minute. So here's the first combo here, utilizing the mini Megidramon package here in the deck to essentially show you how this works with the current AD01 Biomerge play. So you're going to be doing is that you're going to be promoting your War Groundmon. If you had obviously Groundmon, you can just go into War Groundmon and go off from there. But then you're going to be attacking with the War Groundmon, and you're going to be evolving into your Megidramon for a cost reduction depending on how many cards in the trash. essentially you don't really care how much you're going to be paying for, because even if the memory passes over, you're going to be still fulfilling all the damage that you possibly wanted to. So what you're going to be doing is going to be swinging, evolving into the Megidramon, and you're going to be, whoops, and then you're going to be doing your security checks here. He's going to be doing 2 security checks just by himself, which is very, very strong. And at end of attack, it's just going to delete all the Digimon here. So it's going to delete everything. The War Ground Inherent is going to do another additional security check. You're going to be gaining a few memories. If you had obviously the Megidramon line, you're going to be gaining some memory back. But at the end, it doesn't even matter. What you're then going to be doing is that Megidramon is now going to on-delete player body. So you're going to be playing back Gallantmon here, specifically. Obviously, if you had the Groundmon X effect on there, you're going to be getting another one. But you're going to be getting one Gallantmon here, no matter what. From there, you're going to be using the end of turn, if the memory is still passed over, to put the Kato underneath. You're going to be putting a Groundmon and a War Groundmon from your trash underneath. Naturally, the line will already give you a Groundmon and War Groundmon. So long as you just do, you know, brick, unfortunately, and you've gone straight into a Gallantmon X and you didn't have anything else in there. But you're already going to be having one of these, which is a very nice, self-efficient combo here. You're going to be putting those underneath, and you're going to be going into your Gallantmon here for nothing. Gallantmon's then going to delete a Digimon, and then it can attack, which then means it's going to swing, doing one additional security check there. It's very, very cool. I really, really like this kind of like engine. Still a package, and again, a big shout outs to Reese there, as he was the one that thought of the Megidramon play, and I've just thought, you know what, that actually works really well. Let's go ahead and do it. And I just thought, you know, we had to put it in today. So I'm going to do another quick scoop up and show you guys why insane synthetic monsters in this deck. And then we're going to go from there and finish off this video. So catch you tamers in a minute. And we're back, and you're going to see why we're currently taking the insane synthetic monster, even though we're not playing any Chimeramon and Millenniummons in this deck, is because it gives you the cheapest way to get into a Gallantmon, essentially, that you can do just taking in a small single card. So obviously you have your, though you are playing a red egg, you are playing multiple level 3s that do have purple colouring, which means you can then use the insane synthetic at a point to draw to and trash to. More importantly, trashing one of your War Groundmons here. So let's say we now promote up as a Gallantmon. We're going to go into our Groundmon, who on play is going to play on Evolve Player Tamer. And then we're going to go into our Groundmon X here for free, drawing one, trashing one. We're then going to use the insane synthetic monster to delay, pop one of our Digimon with a play cost 7 or less, then you may play a Chimeramon or Millenniummon. So we're just going to pop our Digimon here and not play a Digimon, because the secondary part is a you may, so you don't have to. By deleting one of our Digimons, we're going to delete the Groundmon X, who then has the effect to play back a Gallantmon. So we're going to play back the Gallantmon from our trash for essentially free. And in that way, depending on which Takato you have here, you can then go into your Biomerge. You're going to go into your Gallantmon by utilizing the cards in your trash. So obviously at this point, we need to get rid of some of our memory. So we're just going to get the memory over, pass the memory over. Then we're going to use the Takato here and go straight into our Gallantmon by tucking the 2, going into the Gallantmon, doing a swing by when attacking. And if you manage to move the memory, so it's just like at least 2 or less, and your opponent has no Digimon left on board, you can then use the War Groundmon and get the memory back there, which is very, very effective, because then if you had it in your hand, you can then just become the Gallantmon X for a single memory, restanding, deleting an opponent's Digimon. If you didn't, you trash one security, so you're getting 2 checks there. It's just a nice quick way and a cheaty way to get into your Gallantmon there, depending on the scenario there. And I think it's a really cool tech that you can utilize in your deck that is just, at worst case scenario, just a nice form of consistency, drawing 2, trashing 2. The Gallantmon strategy naturally does have trash synergy, so filling up the trash as quick as you can for simple free memory is pretty cool. But that, team, is the deck profile and 2 mini combos at the end. I hope you all enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below what you're doing with Gallantmon, and if you think this It's just a nice, it has given you ideas for your own Gallant strategy. If you have your own Gallant strategies, post it down below. I'm sure everyone will enjoy. As always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.